Here's my non-spoiler review for Joker 2. I'll start off with non-spoilers, and then I'll warn you for the spoiler. Are you serious? Really? Really? Is the ending a joke? Is that a joke? Really? I was actually loving most of this movie and felt entertained with Joker 2. It's headlined by compelling performances from Joaquin Phoenix and Lady Gaga, who deliver brilliant performances. They feel like classic Joker and Harley Quinn, especially during the musical numbers as they're doing crazy things. I was literally like, these are some crazy people right here. I personally actually didn't mind the musical numbers throughout. I felt like that was very Joker-esque. We've seen Joker sing and dance before in animation and comics and movies, and I felt like that drastic change from the first movie was a very unique way in to represent a vacuum of insanity, chaos, a circus running amok in somebody's severely damaged head. And I think it was well made. Brilliant acting, it's shot beautifully, the musical numbers I thought were entertaining, but it wasn't until literally the ending that I was so upset about and frustrated and disappointed. I felt like that decision at the end, especially the way it was executed, how it felt kind of empty and dull. It was a betrayal of this movie, of the first movie, and it felt like Todd Phillips played a bad joke on comic book fans and ran away, got away like the Joker does, with a comic book movie paycheck. That's what it felt like to me. I also thought an interesting aspect of this movie that it offers new, if anything, if there's anything new that this movie presents from the first movie, is this idea of society's fascination with sensationalism and how we only look forward to, we gotta see the Joker, we gotta see this clown prince of crime, we gotta see this serial killer, you know, we're obsessed with true crime. But this is a comic book movie. This is Joker. This is Batman's iconic villain. This is the most iconic villain of all time. Why, as fans, are we being criticized for wanting to see the Joker? Why use this IP then? Why use a comic book movie for success if you hate the genre, if you hate the medium? That's what I felt like the attitude from Todd Phillips is that, like, hey, F DC, I'm done with DC anyways, and I know you guys want to see Joker, I'm not going to give you that, and hey, thanks for the paycheck, I'm outie. Make a different movie. Make an original one. Don't use the title of Joker. Don't take advantage of the comic book fandom. I feel like that's exactly what this was, honestly. I loved the first Joker movie. I thought it was a masterpiece, honestly. I love that it had that same vibe as Taxi Driver and The King of Comedy. I love that it was a reinterpretation of this iconic villain and not a pit of chemicals changing him into this monster. It was actually society, a modern take that shaped and molded this monster. Now I'll get into the spoiler. 3, 2, 1. We find out that Joaquin Phoenix is not the real Joker, and he gets killed by the real Joker in Arkham Asylum. Now, the concept of that idea, a Joker creating a Joker, is actually really cool. It is a very Joker thing to do. We've seen it before in media. Batman Return of the Joker, where Joker turns Tim Drake. He tortures him so much that Tim Drake has the essence of the Joker as well and becomes the Joker. The way it's done in this movie, the execution of it, dull, empty, and maddening. Why? Because for me, with this interpretation of these two movies, it undoes the groundwork of everything. This movie, and especially the first movie. You're telling me Joaquin Phoenix is not the real Joker? What? Goofy! So we're downgrading now. We have two different origin stories for Joker that are both meaningless, really. A waste of time, to be honest. What Joaquin Phoenix gave us in the first Joker movie was kind of revolutionary post Heath Ledger's Joker. Think about it. I never thought we'd get something close to as interesting as Heath Ledger, but Joaquin Phoenix, the actor that he is, gave us that. But by saying he's not the real Joker, why? Why? If you're making a Joker movie, a new reinterpretation, embrace the character, embrace the iconography. He doesn't have to fight Batman, but I think the ending could have been much better than him just getting shivved by some random Joker that we don't even care about. That the laugh was awful. The acting was bad from that actor. Like, oh man, it's just, I think anything could have been better. Harley Quinn maybe could have broken him out of that courthouse and they could have ran chaos in Gotham. I don't know. I think something could have been better than that. I just could not get behind that decision. I was literally watching, like smiling the entire movie, and then that happened. I was like, no way that just happened. No. There was also several scenes in here that I felt were like weird. And I was like, I said out loud a couple times, like, really? We're doing this to Joker now? Really? Why? I was like, what is this movie right now? It's nothing like the first. I respect the swing, but it just was a miss for me. I kid you not, the decision made at the end, it just felt like past traumas in different fandoms. Game of Thrones, The Rise of Skywalker. It was like that level for me. Like, how is Todd Phillips okay with like dismantling his own first movie? I don't understand it. I'd have to ask. That first Joker movie transcended the comic book genre and allowed it to flourish in a very refreshing way. This one is a comic book movie that hates comic book movies. It doesn't embrace being a comic book movie, and it has that attitude of that cynical ideology of comic book movies are not cinema, and I hate that they're taking over the movie industry. Thanks for the paycheck. Maybe this movie was my villain origin story. At the end of the day, I hope when you watch this movie, you love it, you take something from it that maybe I didn't get, and have a really good time.